everybody. It's Blair with the Badass Records podcast, welcoming you in for another episode. And this week I am thrilled to share with you that Ryan Johnson of Foxland Band is my guest. You can follow Foxland Band at Foxland Band on Instagram. Check out their stuff online at foxlandband.wixsite.com. Their content is available to you on Amazon, Apple, YouTube, Spotify, and Bandcamp. Please give them a follow and check out their stuff. Podcast episodes air Thursdays. You can stream on your audio platform of choice or view it on YouTube. Everything lives on the site, which is badassrecordspodcast.com. And at Badass Records Podcast on the old gram is the best way to keep tabs of this thing on the socials. That's all I got for you this week. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope you enjoy the show. Things working the way they should. I think this is going to be episode 199.
Okay, cool.
The Badass Records podcast. And I am really glad that I looked at your Instagram page because Ryan Johnson is your name, not Ryan Foxland.
That's right, yeah.
However, Foxland Band is your outfit at Foxland Band on Instagram. Thank you so much for being here. Linktree.
Yep.
On your Instagram takes you to a lot of cool places.
A bunch of things, yeah.
Your website, foxlandband.wixsite.com.
Yeah, I'm cheap. It's free.
Hey, man. I mean, I hear you. In fact, I just saw a couple days ago that my domain for this site is coming up this month. I'm like,
yeah, even though it's like, I think it's like, what, $5 or something like that? I don't know. It's cheap, I know, but I'm like, this is fine.
Yeah, exactly. So Foxland stuff, which Foxland is Foxlin, and the Wix site piece is Wixsite. But Foxland music, Amazon, Apple, YouTube, Spotify, and Bandcamp.
Yep.
On the Bandcamp, it looks like, and please correct me if I'm wrong, you have 7 EPs.
I could. There's a lot. I don't think I've counted recently.
2 LPs and 2 singles.
That sounds right.
There's a healthy amount of things to check out if one were so inclined. Also in the link tree, lots of links to videos of live performances. And then, a little towards the bottom of the list, life resources plus crisis text line, plus suicide and crisis lifeline, all of which caught my eye, very fascinating to me. And, it goes without saying the bio of your Instagram, Multiple Myeloma.
Yep, that's correct.
A blood and bone marrow cancer.
Yep.
That is incurable.
Yeah.
I know there's 1,000 flavors of cancer, and none are
really
pretty.
Is.
Some, however, are air quotes curable, and some just are not.
Yeah.
Do you want to pause and talk about this for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm totally open with everything about that. Yeah.
So you mentioned a little bit ago before we were rolling for the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of the timeline for when you learned about this stuff?
So in June of 2021, I went to the ER with just back pain. I thought it was sciatica, because for the past 2 weeks before that, my back had just been gradually getting worse and worse. And I worked a job that was kind of physical, and I would just do things to my back from time to time that kind of hurt, but this time it just wouldn't go away, kept getting worse. So it was time to go to the ER, and when they did the x-ray, that's when they found the lesion, and I got admitted to the hospital, got shoved in all the machines they had, did the biopsy, and it came back with multiple myeloma. Yeah.
Okay, lesion where?
In my L5 vertebrae, so the
Oh,
very
in
bottom
your back.
vertebrae,
Okay,
yeah. So
okay.
in the spine, it's just above the tailbone. It started in the bone marrow inside of it and just started eating its way out. That's kind of what this cancer does. Is it starts in the bone marrow and just eats its way out of the bones. So when you look at like people with multiple myeloma, their X-rays kind of look like their bones in the X-ray looks like Swiss cheese, just like little holes. And so that's what was happening. And I went through treatment then, which for that it was localized to that like region. So they just did radiation for like a longer period of time than they usually would. That seemed to kind of like get me in like what they call partial remission. I'll never be in remission, they say. Well, I've had a couple of people tell me this because it's incurable and it will come back. So there's no actual remission to where it's not coming back anymore. Then it kind of like the treatment that I got caused a bunch of bone stuff. I have avascular necrosis in my hips. Basically,
Avascular necrosis.
avascular necrosis.
Avascular.
Yeah. So basically, like it cuts off blood supply to the hip, like the femoral head where the joint is, and it causes the bone to like dry out, decay, and then collapse. And so about a little over a year ago, I got a hip replacement in my right hip. And in a couple years, a year and a half to a couple years, I'll have to get the left one replaced because it's slowly drying out and kind of degrading and it'll collapse.
Jeez.
Yeah.
How long does the hip replacement procedure goes perfect? Does it have a shelf? Does the new one have a shelf life?
I'll probably die before I would need to do anything to it. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, yeah. My doctor basically said like there can be some maintenance with it, but I mean
It
since
being
the hip replacement.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
There can be some maintenance with it when you're like older, but he would probably estimate it when I was like in my 80s. That's just his estimation. And with my like incurable cancer, I wouldn't be around then anyway. If I needed the maintenance anyway, either way.
So they've said,
Yeah.
here's the what did they say?
Well, I mean, there's they can't say for sure anything
Right.
like that. So after the hip replacement in last June, I got kind of re-diagnosed. They call it relapsing with cancer. And I went through another round of treatment. This time, like a low dose chemo and then radiation, and so it could like come back tomorrow, a month from now, 2 years from now, 20 years from now.
Jeez.
I have no idea, and the second time it came back, it was located like it started in my arm and kind of spread a little bit quicker than the last
Really?
one. Yeah.
Again, beginning in the marrow?
Yep.
Wow.
It actually started like right around here and just started spreading out this way and down this way.
And was it pain similar to the
yeah.
back stuff?
Yeah, yeah. The back thing was actually worse because what happened is it came out of my bone, the tumor, and kind of was wrapping around the sciatic nerve, which goes down both legs.
Yeah.
And so I lost a lot of feeling and like nerve endings in my legs because it just felt like they were like being ripped out of my legs because that thing was like on that sciatic nerve, and they just couldn't take it anymore, and my nerve endings kind of died in the thighs and stuff.
And never recovered?
Nope. And now after the hip replacement, the right one especially is definitely kind of just dead. Just the nerve. Like I can feel pressure, but there's no like actual feeling,
Wow.
It's weird, yeah.
How is, generally speaking, back pain today?
Good. So I mean, modern medicine is pretty great. I've learned a lot of pain management techniques.
Okay.
Everything from, medicine to like what they would use in the army to like, to try to stop, thinking about pain and all sorts of stuff and everything in between. I'm really good at masking and so I'll look completely fine when I'm in pain. Usually,
Wow.
Yeah.
I do not have that
Years of
trait.
practice. Like when I was a kid, it was don't show emotion, don't cry, like you're fine.
Your
And so
folks?
yeah,
Okay.
and so I just learned. Yeah,
Are they still around?
they are. Yeah.
Do,
We have a decent relationship.
do
Very
they
cordial, and everything. We don't really get into deep subjects. We don't go into deep topics or anything like that.
they know what's going on with you?
Yep. Yep, they know they're supportive. Yeah, we just don't get like super deep. We try not to get into the feelings area too much.
Per their preference.
Yeah. I mean
Okay.
that's just kind of how I grew up, and
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then there was a point like growing up.
I mean, when
after
all this
that-
goes on, are you like, can I show some pain now? I have a lot of it.
They have seen me like in the hospital bed, and doubling over and all that stuff. Like they've seen it, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, you know, is multiple myeloma? Do they have theories on how? Is it genetic? Does it just random? I mean,
Yeah, pretty much random. They have no idea.
wow.
At least from what I'm told, I can't find anything on the internet either. Like, what I can find is very vague. Like, it's more prevalent in like African Americans, 55 and older. Actually, when I was first diagnosed, a doctor did tell me like it's usually in people that are older. They usually die from something else because they're older than this. But there are like younger patients of multiple myeloma, and that's usually what they die from, unless there's like a freak accident or
Sure.
whatever. Yeah.
Sure. Um. So those links, the life resources
Yeah.
crisis, obviously important enough for you to put them there.
Yeah.
Can you touch on the importance?
Of course, yeah. So I have borderline personality disorder, and they've helped me in times, of need. I know they haven't helped a lot of people. You hear stories of both ways, both sides, But for me personally, even if they're just there to have and nobody uses them, I'm going to sleep way better knowing that, just because of the empathy I have because I've been in that situation. Yeah.
Strange things happen in this world all the
Absolutely.
time,
Absolutely.
and I for one, am not going to have my antenna wiggled. I have a 12-year-old sixth grade boy and a 15-year-old freshman girl,
Yeah.
and she asked me at the breakfast table this morning, how often do you think, and I don't know if this is the correct number, but she asked me, Dad, how often do you think people actually dial 988 or whatever?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, what is 988? And she was like, and I was like, why are you asking me? Like, where, she's just eating French toast and sausage. And I'm like, do we need to take the day off from school and like talk about stuff? Like, so just wild that, that was this morning and here you are tonight.
Yeah. Actually, and I'm a big like advocate for therapy. I plan to do more, but maybe like a year or two ago, I threw a show where I had therapists in the other room that people could like mingle with to see if they were a good fit. Because like I know how like a big barrier to therapy sometimes is people just can't find a therapist.
It's the weirdest, wildest.
Yeah. And
you look at their picture and
Yeah.
read their bio and
Absolutely.
go, hope this one's all right.
Yeah.
And then if your first session, right?
Yeah.
It might be session 6 or 7 before things start.
Yeah, well, and you have to even book a session to meet them and get a vibe with them and see how their mannerisms are and everything, because that stuff kind of matters sometimes,
It does.
And so, I threw a show where, I had some therapists there and people could mingle if they were looking for a new therapist. And I thought it was a very big success. I planned to do it last year, but cancer did get in the way and I just couldn't handle all the preparation and stuff for it. I hope to do it again this fall. I gotta, get on that.
Cool.
So, yeah.
I am giving a lot of energy right now to concentrating on what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because it's all super important. But so sort of looming over it all is you functioning in the world and having I'm not trying to put a label on you, but for the 25 minutes that I've known you, a positive outlook.
Yeah.
I'm a huge pussy in like 47 different ways that all have subsets.
Sure.
And, you know, if we took the teeniest fraction of what you have experienced and experience, I would crumble. How are you?
Well, I mean, I had no choice, you know, like I'm a big pussy too. Honestly, like I just have no choice. And I've been through I've been through enough now to where it's kind of like I've surprised myself so much. You know? Like that's
gotta feel good.
I've literally been awake on an operating table while a guy hammers into my bone trying to chip a little piece off.
Awake?
Yeah.
Why?
Like numbed up and awake while this guy is standing over me hammering.
Why would they not knock you out for that?
They just don't.
Oh.
Yeah. And so every time he would hit, I would like move and like go, yeah. Like I've been through a lot. So like, you know, what else can hurt me? You know?
I was watching this TikTok the other day. I think they're Australian dudes, and there's three guys. One of them's reading 10 weird things about the body. And one of them is, if you get a kidney transplant, they don't take out the bum one. And I have a good friend I've known for 25 years who not too terribly long ago had his third liver transplant.
Whoa.
And not counting, so he's received 3. He was born with 1, right?
Okay.
And the second one, which had a nice little run, but all along the way was kicking the shit out of one of his kidneys.
Wow.
So when it came to, and that is there's a million different things about why the organ donor world is really weird and kind of bureaucratic and political. But he, you know, just waiting to get to the top of the actual top of the list, which is determined based on a MELD score.
Okay.
I can't tell you what all goes into it, but it's real shitty health.
Okay, yeah.
And he finally got there, and it was still like just nothing was happening. Nothing. And the reason was is that, you know, he's had good care and good doctors, but there was a lot of stigma associated with giving somebody in their 50s not only their third liver but a kidney as well.
Wow.
And at what point do we say this shit's got to go to somebody anyway? So his kidney that quit working is in its spot of origin.
Yeah.
And the one they put in there is just in his, like, there's a negative space in your pelvis, in your hip area. So when I watched this TikTok, I called him and he goes, "Dude, did I ever tell you the story of right after that?" I said, "No." And, you know, so he goes in and he's, you know, in recovery, and whatever day it is, PT comes in, says, we got to get you up and moving. He's like, I can't, like, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Dude, like, we got to get you up, and we're going to walk to the end of the hall." And he's like, "I'll get up and I'll go to that chair right there."
Wow.
But she's like, "Come on now, we got to get you up." And he felt a tear.
Oh, yeah.
And and then whatever. And the doctor comes in. He's like, "Dude, that nurse, something's not right. You got to get me back in there."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay." So they put him in whatever to scan, and sure as shit, it tore and it bled like a son of a bitch.
Ooh, yeah.
And it scabbed. He goes, "You have a huge blood booger," where it thankfully scabbed. But we're going to have to get in there again and fix it. And it's just like,
because that could clot and get into the, like, right. Yeah.
I mean 2 seconds into him telling me the story, I was like, I don't want you to tell me any more things. This is awful.
Yeah.
This is so awful.
Yeah.
But man, the body is such a wild
It's
mystery.
crazy. It's crazy. I've felt weird sensations since, because like in my arm specifically, I can't describe this any other way. But there was one time where I felt a pop inside of the bone. I felt a pop, and then what I can only describe as like a dissolve feeling. Like, like when soda fizzes out, like that fizzy,
Alka-Seltzer.
like, yeah, it's like that weird dissolved fizzy feeling inside of my bone. It was just the weirdest thing. Yeah, the body is incredibly.
The very
weird.
first thing this dude, there was a list of 10 things. The very first thing that he read was, "Our skeletons are wet."
Oh yeah,
And the other
okay,
dudes are like,
yeah, of course.
you think bones, you think dry, but
Yeah.
not while you're
No,
alive.
I know that my hips are are drying out.
Right. It's been a few years ago. I'm on my third dog. No pets growing up.
Okay.
So as soon as I'm out of the house and the situation presents itself, I adopt this dog.
Yeah.
Greatest dog. Shepherd mix, around age 14. All of a sudden, he just tanked.
Huh.
Dropped a ton of weight, weird, and took him in, and they were like, he's 35 pounds down in this much time, and
Wow.
we can start doing a whole bunch of tests tomorrow, but this is
Yeah.
in the meantime, let's try to get some fluids in him. I'm pretty sure, without poking around or knowing anything, that this is probably pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
And we went home, plans to take him back in the morning, and I mean, we weren't going to do all the things, but we were going to try to do some things. He died in my bathroom that night.
Wow. Yeah.
I had adopted a puppy a couple years prior to that, which was wonderful because it kind of reinvigorated him
Yeah.
and gave him, he got to put on the boss man of the house hat.
Of
And
course.
so it was great. And then that puppy a couple years ago, lump on his knee, and I take him in, and they're like, this is soft tissue sarcoma, basically cancer.
Yeah.
And so I tried to like topically and sublingually treat it with CBD, and scheduled a procedure and took him in, and she called me, 20 minutes after I dropped him off, and she was like, this mass has doubled in size since I saw him, and it's on the knee. There's no extra skin on the knee to close a wound so we're talking amputation.
Yeah.
Which was terrifying. And
Of
so
course. Yeah.
have one of his rear legs amputated. And then not long after that, his spleen was just about to burst because it was so riddled with cancer. So he has a splenectomy. While they're intubating him for that, they find some cancer in his throat. So but he, like, the recovery from losing a limb was bonkers. I mean, he was like out of it the day he came home.
Yeah.
And then the next day he was out in the backyard hobbling around and like peed and pooped, like just learned all of this shit.
Yeah.
And could do for a couple of years. He could do the stairs.
Yeah.
But he came home with sort of this very obvious pocket of anxiety.
Oh yeah.
And there's a room right by the bathroom down here that has a pull string light switch, which is directly beneath his, now the other dog's bed, but what used to be his bed.
Yeah.
And the sound of that through the
Wow.
So it was that for what? So I, like to this day, even though he's been gone for a few years, I don't turn that off because it was so troubling to him.
Yeah.
I would learn that like certain elements of prepping the yard to mow and weed eat bothered him.
Right.
There was a couple of other things, but it was kind of like these clouds of anxiety that would roll through.
Yeah.
And here's a new one, and trying to like figure out what what is this? Like, why all this anxiety now? And where I went with it is, I mean, he was asleep on a bed while somebody ran a saw to cut his leg off. There's probably some level of awake
Absolutely
that stayed with him, and now he's edgy.
Yeah.
And I just go like, oh,
yeah.
Like, as wonderful as medicine is, there's oftentimes a barbaric element to it too, which you can't have one without the other. I don't think. But.
Yeah, and it's like, I will never forget that doctor that was standing over me, hammering into me, but like, he was helping, like he was literally helping me. So like, I'm like, it's kind of a weird thing,
This coming Saturday, my son's K-8 school is just 2 blocks away, and it's a Catholic private school. So, the dust is never fully settled from one fundraiser before the next one.
Right.
Hey, it's just like, okay. So this Saturday is trivia, and there's always a theme, and the theme is the 90s.
Okay.
However, apparently, all the trivia questions are going to be geared in the direction of the late Rob Reiner.
Oh, cool.
So our team there's prizes for costumes. So our team has been trying to decide. We won last year. So we want to, not the trivia. We're terrible at the trivia part, but costume. So what we landed on, again, weird stuff today, for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody is going to wear Kathy Bates aprons and have a mallet. And here you are talking about this stuff.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
Nan, thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course.
This is great. Story behind the name Foxland.
Yeah, it's pretty simple actually. I love animals.
Okay.
Was watching one of those nature documentaries. I don't remember which one. They were talking about foxes. I've always kind of just liked the aesthetic of a fox, to be honest with you. Like it just kind of, and I like autumn. It kind of has this autumnal like feel. And so this guy was like saying that the baby foxes were called fox kits. And I was a little stoned at the time, and I was like, like, that's not very cute. Like, that's not very, that's not very, like, cool. Like, I want to be like a duckling, like a foxling, And then I was looking for a name for this, like, solo project I was doing at the time, because I was in another band. And I was like, what if, like, Foxling was the name? And then there's another band called Foxing. From St. Louis, and they're pretty popular. And I was like, well, I can't really like just totally, take that. So I dropped the G and was like, that's gonna be my name now for the stage, for this project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. There's a great gal on Instagram. Her name's Megan. She's got a unique spelling, like maybe Meaghan.
Oh yeah.
Photographer.
Oh, cool.
She does like tons of fox stuff and some owl stuff too, I think.
Nice. Yeah.
Another fascinating creature.
Yeah. I get sent fox things all the time on the end. Like,
I'm sure.
On DMs, and like a couple people have made me little fox things.
Nice.
And given to me. I love it. But yeah, it's foxes kind of follow me around everywhere now.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I just saw a TikTok last week. Most of the time, if I see some stuff that involves a fox, it's cute and appealing, and you can kind of see not like where you would domesticate a fox, but you could see some kind of cohabitation.
People on Instagram do domesticate them. Yeah, like as pets. It's
so this one in particular, I don't know what the deal is, but this dude has he traps, and he has this device where he gets you around the neck, and gets you out of the trap, and then puts you in his thing, and I don't know where he takes you.
Yikes.
But he's got in this one clip all these different animals that he's caught, and one of them's a fox.
Oh, cool.
And none of them are thrilled
about
the scenario.
No, that's terrifying.
But the fox, he uses the device so that he can then free your leg from the trap.
Oh, sure.
And not get attacked.
Yeah.
But the fox is super pissed. And it's like, wow.
I would be too.
I've never seen, most of the time it's kind of cute and scurrying around and hopping in and out.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned solo project,
Yep.
but on your Instagram, there's lots of full band stuff. So you
Yeah.
do both.
Yeah. So, about I think it was like a couple years ago, I just kind of wanted to do something different because I'd been doing solo shows for so long, um, and I kind of just asked around to some of my friends like, hey, do you want to play, some of these songs that I have live, with me? And surprisingly, to my surprise anyway, they were like, "Of course, I'd love to." And we're all really good friends now, and we've been playing for a couple of years. We're getting like tighter. We don't really practice a lot, which I kind of love. Um, we kind of, I think we have like this weird intuition together. We just kind of gel, and it's pretty great. But on the flip side, I also have my solo stuff, so it's the same songs. I just kind of strip them down and kind of make an experience out of it. Yeah. At a live show, most of my songs, like most of my set, we go all the way through. We don't stop, like from song to song, and there's transitions in between. It does confuse a lot of people. A lot of people love to clap, which we welcome. But yeah, we just kind of try to make it an experience with kind of both the solo and the full band.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, long time jam band
Oh yeah.
guy. So I've
Yeah.
hundreds of cassette
Yeah.
bootlegs of Dead and Fish shows.
Yeah.
And when you're writing that set list and there's no pause, it's dash dash greater than
Yeah. Yeah.
into the next song.
Yeah. Well, I've always been a huge fan of albums that did that. Like
Okay.
we're like a theme or like a just a follow line through. Because I just saw it as so artistic and just like kind of like creative and just kind of weaving every song into one another.
Lots of examples, but the first one that comes to mind is Dark Side of the Moon.
Of course,
right?
of course. That's
Runs.
that's the main one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just love that. And so, and I get very anxious on stage.
Okay,
And
even
I
today?
mean, well, I've learned to channel that anxiety.
Okay.
Yeah, I've learned to channel it into just like kind of facing the anxiety pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get anxiety, and I don't really like the whole like, okay, I've finished a song, now clap.
Right.
That's just, I've never been one to, even though I'm on stage all the time, being performing. I've never been one to be like, look at me, look at me.
Right.
I'm more of an artist, I would say.
Sure.
And so if I could just like go all the way through and not have anybody clap for me, that'd be amazing. Because I kind of think of it as like, this is what I've painted for you. And like a painter doesn't like show you a corner of his painting and go, now clap for me, you know? And so like, that's kind of how I think of it.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of different, styles of, set lists and stuff
Sure.
that are valid, but that's kind of what I think about it. Or
What do you
how I
suppose
approach
the
it.
root of that anxiety is?
I think it's not getting like validated or like attention when I was younger. I was
Okay.
often bullied. The attention I did get was very, either like mean or just kind of like non-inclusive. And so I think at a point, and I've gone to therapy enough to where I've like kind of figured this out now and kind of come to terms with a lot of it, and now I just kind of do it for the the artist's sake and not so much validation. I have enough self validation now, but for sure that anxiety back then was all about validation.
Wow.
And like, yeah.
Green Mile again,
Mm-hmm.
when it's time for John Coffey and he walks in the room. There's a lot of folks in here hating me. I can feel it. It's
Yeah.
like bees stinging me.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Brutal says, "Well, feel how we feel. We don't hate you."
Yeah.
Can you feel that?
Every room I walk into, the immediate thought is everyone here hates me. But I've done
it.
enough therapy and like stuff to know that's just a thought, and that I can separate myself from that and be like, well, that's not true. That's not true at all.
Good for you.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. It's taken a lot of work to get there. But
Yeah, I mean, not having that tool or that ability to look through this different lens would suck.
Yeah.
I mean, because you'd just be stuck in it.
And there are nights where that voice wins. Halfway through the night, I'm like, you know what? It's too loud. That voice is too loud. I gotta go take care of myself.
So you'll
Duck out. Yeah, say goodbye or just duck out or whatever. Like, yeah, like
even before the show's finished?
Well, I always finish shows.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's just like I'm out for the night hanging out with friends or something,
see,
you know.
I see.
Yeah, I'm always very professional. I'll
Guys, as
finish
soon
a
as you
show.
said anxiety, I go to, I've never done this before.
Yeah.
But I've talked to folks about it. I've been in the room with it, but setting up and breaking down.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
This mix of like, I'm so happy you're here, but can you let me do my thing?
Yeah. It's so nice when people want to immediately come like after you're done and just like tell you how great you are and how good you did. Or even like I even like people asking about my pedal boards and stuff. Like that's totally fine. But after I'm done playing, if there's another band after me, I got to get off the stage so they can get on. Or if it's if I'm headlining, I want to get home.
Yeah,
Yeah. So just let me put up my stuff, and then we can chat all you want.
Yeah.
It is funny, like, but it's funny the way we think about that, where it's like I'm gonna go tell him how great he did right now. Like it's very sweet. It's a very sweet thing. But yeah,
pedal boards.
Yeah.
Meaning.
The effects, guitar pedal effects.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I get a lot of questions about that.
Yeah. So switching tones.
Yep.
Or turning on or off an effect.
Yep.
Do you have 4 options? Do you have 100 options at your feet?
I have as many options as I want.
Okay. But I mean, do you have to like, okay, this is these are the ones that I'm going to have at my ready per this piece of equipment, or
Absolutely.
or
for this set? Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, my pedal board changes constantly. I kind of have one right now that's pretty stable for most situations that I need it for.
Okay.
Yeah. The style of music I'm writing or just performing, consecutively, it's kind of been the same for a while now.
So solo gigs, same music as full band, but stripped down.
Yeah.
The writing process is sort of unilateral though for the tunes themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell me about writing.
Yeah. So, I constantly write.
Okay.
So before I was even in therapy, I would just write. I would just write all the time because
Pen and paper.
Yep.
Okay.
Because in school, that's kind of how I connected. Creative writing, that was like my jam, and then journaling after that was just my thing. And so I just constantly write, and eventually it would come out because I just love music. So eventually I would start writing songs, and they just would get better and better, and they'd get more poetic. And as life would happen, they get deeper. And so, yeah, I just constantly write. There's a reason why I have so many releases and stuff on my Bandcamp and all that stuff. I actually started pulling stuff that just either doesn't gel with, how I am now, or that I kind of want to redo and re-release.
You've had releases up there that in the past that are not okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can get into that too. All the releases. There's a reason why there were so many releases. But as for the writing, I write all the time. Mostly it's like folk singer-songwriter-y kind of stuff. I do a lot of indie rock as well.
Are lyrics always coming first?
Yeah, well, lyrics are always going to be the driving force for me.
Okay.
Lyrics and melody. Either a melody can come first, but if the lyrics aren't right, then I'm not going to use that melody, you know, or I'll just, I guess, adapt. But yeah, those two things are really like what I chase, lyrics and melody.
Okay.
Lyrics are really easy because I do have that journal with just all writing. I can just go to a page and, pick something out and write a song about it, or, construct a song around it or whatever. Yeah. And so I'm constantly writing. I'm constantly kind of trying to do different sounds with production. So I use Logic. That's my DAW. And I like to experiment on there and with different guitar tones and stuff like that. And it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very, very new to it still. I've been doing it for about little over 6 years, I would say, and I'm still very new to it because I haven't really branched out too much. I kind of found what I liked and, just kind of learned that.
Yeah.
But it's been working so far. There's some things I'm not very good at, and I don't really have the ear for like mixing and all that stuff. But with the health problems, I haven't really had money to pay a mixer. So
Sure.
I've been doing it all myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a piece of writing speaks to you. And I'm imposing my own thought on this process. There's a song in here.
Yeah.
And so, all right, here's what the piece of writing looked like. And now maybe it stays the same, maybe you whittle it down to, but now I'm going to put music to it. 6-string is your instrument.
Yeah,
electric
and
acoustic.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I play a lot of different instruments.
Okay.
Yeah, I play banjo and ukulele.
Cool.
Ukulele is really fun to write with as well. Just kind of gives me a little bit like different perspective than a guitar. Banjo is also really fun. I tend to go more for guitar when I'm writing though.
Okay.
Especially these days. I tend to put comfort movies on that I've seen like a million times. And just put them on mute and kind of make my own soundtrack. And then I think about like the writing that I've been doing, or I'm just thinking about something and kind of ruminating on something. And I'll see what kind of phrase or whatever I've written kind of fits in what I'm playing with maybe a melody that I'm going to try or, something like that. A lot of times that's kind of how it happens. There's a lot of different ways though I could write a song for sure.
So when you have phrasing and mood and lyrics and melody and it's time to hit record, you're recording this stuff on your own.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, all myself. Yeah.
And you said that's my DAW.
Yeah. I can't remember digital something DAW.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you record and then you have it and then you can scrap it and redo it or tweak the way that it is and so on and so forth. But that's kind of always the kernel of a song.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when you ask these friends to play with you, did they played instruments already, or were they okay?
Yeah. So actually, my band, all the members are in their own like other bands.
Oh, really?
My guitarist Noah is in a lot of bands, the UK, like local bands, the UK's Cerebellum, Brainwaves. Modern Day Fitzgerald, I could go on and on.
Okay.
As well as my drummer. My drummer is in a lot of projects, from Landlocked to Haikus for Emus. So many, yeah.
Okay.
There's so many. And then my bassist is the bassist for a local band called Cat Voltron.
Okay.
So yeah, I just kind of asked around, and I didn't really know them that well beforehand. I knew them a little bit. Just kind of from, other friends and kind of in the scene. And, it just kind of worked out. We all kind of really bonded even more with the, getting into like playing music together.
Cool.
And it's been really great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There's been times where we've had to play shows where like maybe a bassist didn't show up or a guitarist couldn't come or, whatever, where it's been just me and drums, and it's been amazing, And so like I can trust them with pretty much anything. We do maybe one practice before each show. Well, not before each show, before each like run of shows. And we kind of know the songs, and I can put the set list however I want, and we can just play.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You have shows coming up.
Yeah.
This hopefully is out a week from Thursday, so the 12th.
Okay.
Do you want to tell me
Yeah,
what you got coming up gig wise?
Yeah, so if this is the 12th, then tomorrow, the next day, Friday the 13th.
Yep.
We have a house show at 3807 Troost.
Okay.
It's a guy named Grant Fader who has kind of opened his house up. The top floor, he's kind of like took out some walls and made like a stage in there with like, like some seating and stuff. And it's a really cool venue. It's got lights up. It's got the whole thing. So we're going to throw a house party with some friends, Car Microwave and Rude Cousin. And then we've got a couple dates and then we got Skate Bar, the 25th of February. with Twin Monarch and Emperor.
Cool.
Yeah, and then
Skate Bar.
Yeah.
Brandon and Jesse did an episode with me.
Oh, cool! I love them. So I know them from St. Joe. That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
They're great.
They did an episode with me, and then I mentioned to Shane Powers from Sirens in the Suburbs.
Okay.
I
know the band.
think he was here the day after them, and I mentioned it, and he goes, "Oh, did you interview Danny?" And I said, "No, who's Danny?" He's like, "That's the dude that books their and this was when they were in St. Joe still.
Oh yeah.
So I ended up going up there. It was really embarrassing.
Yeah.
I ended up going up there because he asked if I could come to the spot.
Oh yeah.
And I said sure, and I just for zero reason had 45 minutes as my drive time, so I was late.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they like opened the place up early to let me in.
Oh,
and shit, so
cool.
I was, anyway. But they have been in Westport now for a year.
Yeah, it's been maybe a year or two now.
Okay,
Can't quite remember. But yeah,
they're over. They had like liquor license.
Yeah, there was something with that. I'm not quite sure to be honest.
But everything's
they do serve liquor now. Yeah,
they're there to stay though. We don't.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like it. As far as I know.
Right. Wow. So you can just if you make it work, even if some a particular instrumentalist can't make it, you make it work.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The foundation of these songs is really just what I've written. So like I can make pretty much anything work, and I've surrounded myself with really good musicians. Like my drummer is amazing. They can hold their own against anything I throw at them. I mean, it's great.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So the house party gig on Friday the 13th, Skate Bar.
On the 25th.
On the 25th.
Yep. And then we got the Rhino in March, March 21st.
Nice.
With the band Dreamist.
Okay.
And Flower Gun.
Okay.
Yeah, great new band. And then there's one more. Oh, in Lawrence with Mosaic and Sam Fuller Smith at the Replay.
Amazing that you just have all these details at the ready.
Yeah. This is what I do. This is like my full-time thing. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you ever listened to any Zappa?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for
Are
sure.
you familiar at all with Joe's Garage?
A little bit.
A little bit.
If I heard it, I'd probably.
Okay. It's a 3-act big album from 1979.
Oh, okay.
It's a very, very in-depth
I wonder if
and intricate.
Maybe not as much as I thought.
The cover art is sort of a profile shot, and he's got like it's not blackface, but it's like mud.
Oh wait, I have seen this cover for sure.
Maybe he's holding a mop. I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, I could talk to you about this record for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But Joe forms a band.
Okay.
Garage band.
Yeah.
And they get, attention in the neighborhood, and eventually they're gigging, and then a label makes them sign, and everything falls apart, and then you sort of slog through all these chapters of Joe's shitty life that has been ruined because of music, right? Okay. And so many wild pieces to it.
Yeah.
And at the very end, he winds up working at the Utility Muffin Research Kitchen.
Okay.
And his job is when the muffin goes by on a conveyor belt, he squeezes a little green Rosetta onto the muffin.
Okay.
And so there's so many elements just to that song in particular.
Yeah.
Like they intentionally change up the time signature to, in the third world country, the kerosene record player runs out of fuel. And they're like, anyway,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
that. And he narrates. I have this down here specifically,
okay,
because he narrates as the central scrutinizer in between songs, and he's whispering. This is the central scrutinizer. So
that's funny.
Final song, it's called "Little Green Rosetta."
Yeah,
and they're singing about all these different things, and he is, through all of the 60 plus studio releases that he put out, and for me, they're kind of thematically aligned with the decade,
Yeah.
60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Zappa all has sort of an outfit.
Okay.
But tremendous musicianship.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, a lot of stuff is surfaced of late with documentaries and whatnot that kind of paint him as something of a dick.
Oh, well, I'm sure.
But no, I think he says in one of his biographies he's socially passed marijuana once or twice, but pretty much sober.
Okay.
And you are not allowed to be a partier if you're in his band.
Huh.
And punctuality and all the shit.
Wow.
Like we're not missing any changes. We're not missing,
Okay.
So he's got this
Wow.
arsenal of crazy good talent with
Yeah.
him at all times. And one of the verses in Little Green Rosetta is pretty good musicians. They're pretty good musicians. So talk about your guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But so okay, we talked about the shows. We touched on the releases on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Solo gigs.
Oh yeah, about the releases.
Yes.
So,
You were going to go into that.
Yeah. There was one year, I think it was 2023, maybe. I decided to write and record like an EP or a 2-song EP or like an album every month. Like put something out every month. I did this as like this grand idea. And I gave no time limit. I just said however long I can do it. And I did it for a long time. I don't remember how many. I think you said there was like 7 or something on there. But that's what that is. That's so I would write or rewrite older songs, not very many, but I would write new songs, record them, and then put them out every month as just kind of like this exercise for me.
Keep those chops
sharp. And I was like growing, the brand a little bit too. So like people could follow along and see what I had every month. And, like it was just kind of, it was kind of like a get to know me kind of thing too. And, it just kind of took me and the people that were following me on this journey. It was really cool.
So you're always writing.
Yep.
So that wealth of material is there. And then there's the familiar movie phrasing, putting together of songs, and your gear and software for recording. Not very good at mixing,
right?
But from the recording piece to the Bandcamp, boom, it's out there. Like that's still you, right?
Yeah.
So that stresses me out to think of. Now listen, I love. I once did on that secondary blog project. I once did a thing called 1,000 Gratitudes.
Okay.
So I wrote 1,000 posts.
Whoa.
And it took me. It was this sort of pipe dream. If I get to bed by 8:30, I can set an alarm for 3:30.
Yeah.
And make coffee and come down and write from 4 to 6, and then everybody wakes up and I go back up.
Yeah.
Try to get in those 2 hours. So I love the idea, and it's motivating.
Yeah.
But when it comes now, it's February 1st. This, the sort of the calendar a day pages being torn off.
For sure.
No anxiety with that self-imposed timeline.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know. It was fun, and I think it was fueled by I didn't have really anything out there for people to listen to. And I had gone through all this health stuff, and I didn't have money to go to a studio or have even pay a friend to record me. And so I was like, I've got gear. I'm going to do it myself. And when I put my mind to something, I recorded my last album while I was while I was recovering from the hip replacement. So I would to record guitar, I had to be sitting down in this weird chair or this office chair with pillows stacked on my hip because the guitar was too heavy to be on my hip or else it would hurt. But I didn't care. I was just so determined to finish this recording,
Yeah.
So when I put my mind to something, I'm going to get it done.
My ex had a hip replacement surgery done a handful of months ago, and she's a runner.
Oh yeah.
And so here are all the months where I'm tolerating, and now I can't run, which is making my mental health. I have to exercise.
Yep.
This is her. I have to exercise
Right.
to make that right.
Yeah.
And now
yeah.
I can't. So she, I mean, it was,
Yeah.
in and out,
Yeah.
complication free.
Right.
But the recovery. I mean, there was a walker and
Yep,
a
same.
gnarly scar
Same.
and this
Yeah.
weird device that was an ice pack thing. Like it had
Okay.
it had like a motor. And
Oh,
a
cool.
Flow.
I didn't get that one. Cool. Yeah.
Anyway,
Cool.
sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and so like I was just kind of like I'm a very determined person.
Sure.
So like when I thought of this idea of just I'm going to record for so long, until or just record until I can't, honestly. Write and record until I can't. I was going to do it no matter what. Yeah, and a lot of people like will tell me like I'm too much of a perfectionist. I can't just put something out like that, if it's not finished or if it's not good enough or whatever. And I'm like, my head gets so filled with these songs because I am always writing that I can just let go of songs.
Cool.
It's kind of now more so that I'm like savoring songs. Like I'm recording an album right now and I'm taking my time with this one. And it's kind of been nice, juxtaposed with that other way. But I still like the other way too,
Cool.
because I kind of just let go of like, well, this isn't very good to me, but it's good enough for me, and it's a representation of what I do, yeah, it's just, I
And
needed
each-
something out there.
Each piece has unique album cover art.
It does all by me.
All by you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, at what point in the process, it's a two song EP or a 6-song EP or a 10-track full length? Is the arriving at what the album artwork is the same every time, or is it all over the place?
It's all over the place.
Okay.
So actually, when I was like thinking of this idea, I would start to name the albums as a way to build a bigger like phrase. So like every album, if you put them together in a certain order, would say a phrase. And it was just my way of being like going down this rabbit hole of this creative rabbit hole. And so the art would kind of reflect that, and every release had like a theme to it. So and there was like in the phrase I needed the word an, and so I was like, what can I do for that? Because I wanted to call an EP an. I was like, well, a fun exercise could be doing 2 songs, A and N, of all alliteration. So just taking the letter and thinking of whatever word I can that starts with that letter and seeing if it makes any sense. It was complete gibberish, but it sounded really cool, like phonetically, and some of it kind of made sense, but yeah.
Cool.
And so it was a really cool like exercise, and then I don't remember what the phrase fully said. But it was just this thing, this grand idea that I had, that I was going to do no matter what.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've said this before on here, but I one of the reasons for doing this is because I absolutely love the album. All of this work.
Yeah.
Especially
I do too. The art of the album is
old school.
very nice.
Like in Joe's situation, get discovered by a label, they pony up money for you to go into studio.
Yep.
Blah blah blah. The fights that happen, for better or for worse, and choosing what songs make the album. What's the sequence of the track listing?
Yeah.
What's the album cover art? What are the liner notes and the credits? All of those things to go, here's our thing to the world,
Yeah.
and hopefully you like it.
Yeah.
I love album cover art. The first 5 studio releases from Fish have wildly unique album cover art.
Okay.
But very, very strong color.
Okay.
So like first release is white, and then green, orange, blue, red.
Cool.
And completely different, things happening in but
Yeah.
primary, and if I'm listening to that second record, Green is littered in
Yeah.
my brain.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I did that
Right.
or if there was some kind of intention, and I'll
mean,
never know.
I feel that with Weezer, like their earlier stuff when they did
Really?
like the Green album
Yep.
and the Blue. You know, I feel that because yeah, when I hear the Blue album, like that's the color I'm picturing for sure. You know.
Yeah. And then you go, I've had some folks on here that are young enough that they never bought records, never bought CDs, never bought cassettes.
Oh, I
It's just
bought a
been
lot, yeah.
just been digital.
Yeah.
And so there's there's some folks that just, I don't have any favorite albums. I have songs, I have playlists.
I have too many favorite albums.
And so you go, okay, well, there's a portion of people out there that like just zero association with the album cover art.
Yeah, definitely.
The song that they like is on,
Yeah.
which is bonkers to me.
A lot of times nowadays they don't even know the artist they're listening to. You know, they just love that song. You know.
It's on my gym playlist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you born and raised in St. Joe?
Yep.
Okay.
Born and raised in St. Joe.
Siblings?
Yeah, I have a half brother, about 6 years younger than me.
Okay.
We're not super close, but we love each other.
Cool.
You know? We send each other, happy birthday texts, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We see each other at holidays.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any idea how mom and dad connected initially?
So my biological father left when I was very young, like either a baby or like when I was a baby. And then my mom remarried when I was at 4 years old.
Okay.
I believe. And then I took his last name, so he
Okay.
adopted me.
Okay.
So they've been together for like 30 some years.
Okay.
Now, yeah.
So zero memories of bio dad?
Not really. I have a couple, very faint ones. There was a couple times he tried to come back, but he wasn't a very good dude. So my mom was like, no,
Okay.
Yeah.
I get really tripped out in sort of an Inception kind of lane, if you're familiar with that movie.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
Carrying along in life for, choose your number, 26 years.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is my list of memories.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
one day something happens and you go, do I remember that? Or is it from pictures and
Right.
stories?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, now I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And then I read something somewhere where it's like every time you remember a memory, that remembering now becomes the memory and the initial thing
I've
fades
read this
off.
too. Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
actually, turns out I know nothing
It's a game
about.
of telephone with your own brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so from mom and stepdad, adoptive dad,
Yeah.
are is one or the other more in that lane of don't show pain, upset feelings?
I think it was just kind of like. They. I think if I would like show feelings and stuff, it was more like it wasn't a very stern. You're okay. You're gonna be fine. But it's just like like hey, it's fine. What are you crying about? And so over time, as a child, you just kind of go, well, what's there to be? What am I crying about? When really there is something wrong, but your parents are just going to say that anyway, so you just don't bring it up anymore, and it just kind of gets to that cycle. Yeah.
So they've been together for 30-ish
Some years, yeah.
And you're cordial. Everything's
Oh yeah,
fine.
yeah, they're great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did they put on music in the home to listen to when you were young?
Yeah. So I would say they weren't like musicians, and they weren't like I don't know. They didn't branch out too much from what they liked, is what I'm trying to
Sure.
say, I guess. So my mom was like 90s pop country and
Okay.
then classic rock.
Yep.
My dad was classic rock, and then later it became like in the Creed era, that like kind of rock he liked. I didn't so go for that, but the classic rock and the 90s pop country kind of stuck with me because my mom and Dad would just play that all the time. You know, my
Cool.
dad loved his car stereos.
Yep. Oh,
And so always had like the best speakers.
he's
and it was always
not. He's not
pumping.
rocking with a factory.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. And it was like a lot of classic rock that he would show me,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And so like at parties, I very specifically remember because two of my favorite albums of all time. Well, one of my favorite albums of all time, REO Speedwagon and High Infidelity, and Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell would always play at these parties. And it's just the best memories I have is listening to those at my parents' parties and having them sing along to them, and you know, like with my family. And yeah, it's just that, like, that was really great and kind of inspires me, you know, like especially when we were talking about like themed albums that kind of go straight through. Bat Out of Hell, like when I first heard that as a kid, and High Infidelity, because it kind of goes through too. They're kind of like concept albums, you know. Man, that was just a trip, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So dynamic and like, you know, yeah.
So here's the stuff that you heard courtesy of mom and dad.
Yes.
This is part of your fabric as a young person.
Yep.
Here's your fully fleshed out catalog of adult favorites.
Yeah.
Is there an album that you first fell in love with, or bought with your own money, or borrowed from a friend that wasn't from the home stuff and wasn't, you know, kind of like opened a, you know, a new corridor or turned on the proverbial light bulb?
Definitely. I guess a few albums throughout like the, you know, the years. I think the first one I remember is Pavement, Crooked Rain, Crooked Rain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the one, like I heard it on, I think, a friend's like Walkman or something at like, I don't remember if it was like a party or if it was like at school or something. I don't remember exactly, but I think it was Cut Your Hair.
Okay.
I think that's what grabbed me, if I remember right. But I was like, what is this? And I remember that's like when I went to my mom and dad, I was like, Mom, Dad, I want this CD, you know, like, because I got an allowance, like that's what I'm going to get. And they took me and I got that CD. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. I love Pavement.
Do you remember where you got it?
I think it was FYE, if I remember right.
FYE.
Yeah.
Is that in St. Joe?
It was in the mall. It was
Okay.
like a CD and DVD, you know, store.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
We used.
What about live music? Any early or first concert memories?
My first concert was my mother's doing, because she was a very 90s pop country, you know, lover, like I said, and she took me to see Clay Walker.
Okay. What venue?
I can't remember what it was called, but it was the big arena in St. Joe.
Okay.
I can't remember what it was. I think it was like Civic Arena or something like that. And I can't remember who opened for him or anything like that. That's the first concert I remember going to. The next were pretty sparse until I kind of got like old enough to see the bands I wanted to see.
Yeah.
I didn't really go see a lot with my parents.
Do you, by chance, I'm just now connecting, Chris Clark, Blue Oyster Culture Club?
The name sounds so familiar.
He's from.
I know Blue Oyster Culture Club a little bit.
He's the front man. And
It sounds so
from
familiar.
St. Joe also.
I wonder if I probably know him.
He did one of these and definitely talked about, I think, that same
Yeah?
venue that
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the big acts came through that arena,
Wild.
like at that time
Yeah.
in the 90s. Yeah.
So solo and full band gigs
Yeah.
happen today, as well as recording, releasing, writing. Where does your trajectory as a musician begin?
I think kind of in high school for
Okay.
sure. Dad bought a guitar, you know, was like, here you go. It kind of sat there for a while. I didn't really.
He bought it for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
On a
Kinda
whim?
Kind of sat there for a while. think I was intimidated, you know?
Absolutely.
I think I was very intimidated, and it took a while for me to actually take it and kind of like figure it out. And then like later into like, I'd say like early 20s, college kind of era, I started to really kind of learn stuff. And then
Where'd you go?
I taught myself.
No, college.
Oh, college, Missouri Western
Okay.
in St. Joe. Well, and then a little bit to Kansas City Art Institute and
Cool.
around. But yeah. I kind of learned guitar. That's where I started, and then found out that everyone played guitar. And if I wanted to be in a band, I might try to figure something else out. And so I bought a cheap banjo and started learning a couple banjo chords and joined a band. Yeah, for a little bit.
What was that first band called?
It was called Islet. It was a husband and wife duo that wanted like a full band, and then I kind of joined that one, and we did a little bit here in Kansas City and then in St. Joe. Then ended up fading out, and then I had Foxland, in the middle of that, and I just kept Foxland going, kind of off and on as a hobby as I was like working, living life, until cancer, and then I kind of went full force into it.
Right.
Yeah.
So guitar. You mentioned banjo and ukulele.
Yep. Harmonica. Bass.
There's a relatively bass as well.
Yep.
Okay.
A little bit of drums. I can hold the beat.
Electric on the bass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a really cool. It's kind of recent in your Instagram, a post with several slides, picture slides, and the like second-ish slide in this one post is kind of a profile shot of you on a mic, and you've got a harmonica mount.
Oh yeah, cool.
But the way that the picture was taken, you can kind of only see like this round little, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
I
at
think I know
first,
what you mean, yeah.
I had seen another picture of you with a harmonica,
yeah,
and I was like, "What is that? Is that a talk box tube?"
Oh, that's funny.
Going into, and then I finally was like, "Oh, it's just the fucking harmonica." But it's a really cool looking picture.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Somebody on here mentioned something about having different harmonicas and all these different harmonicas, their own key.
Yep.
Which I was like, I
one
thought
has a
there was
different key.
just one harmonica.
Nope.
So
they're all scales.
Scales.
Yeah, the same key. Yeah. Or of a different key, I mean.
How do you is that self-taught as well?
Yeah. I just, seeing Bob Dylan and other people play harmonica, it looked really cool. And I kind of bought, one or two and tried them out and was very intimidated like everything else, But then I had a friend give me some advice. He said, just try the Bob Dylan method. And I was like, what is that? And he goes, just blow. And so in my mind, that means like, well, you just practice, practice is you just blow. And so I just, sat in my living room with the harmonica and the holder and just played until I could figure some stuff out, and wrote little parts to the songs I would write, and
Are you scale of 1 to 10? Where are you as a Bob fan?
I would say I wouldn't go all the way 10. I'd say like an 8 or 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty big.
The two college newspaper original blog buddies, one of them reached out. I mean, we're on a constant thread. One of them reached out and said, let's each of us make a Bob playlist. And I'm going to cap it at 24 songs. And
Cool.
let's have it
24, yeah.
ready-ish around the holidays. Oh man, on that blog project with them, one of the things that I did after they dropped off was a Bob writing project where I gave every album 3 listens and ranked them and put it in 4 different. So I was like, this is 15 years ago, but a lot of that is still in there. There's some newer stuff that I'm gonna have to brush up on.
Yeah. Oh man, I know the biggest Bob Dylan fan in the world. He's my best friend.
Okay.
He knows all the new stuff. Has
Okay.
seen him when he comes around many times.
Well,
Yeah.
between bandmates and anybody else that you come across, your best friend, anybody you think that would be interested in doing one of
definitely.
these, like,
Definitely.
I mentioned I only did 2 in January.
Yeah.
When this drops, there's a 2-week gap because I just dropped the ball on outreach
Holidays
and booking.
too, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
But that is what keeps it going.
Cool, yeah.
Is people that are willing to do. Anyway, I know these 2 dudes well. I have a real rough outline of what I think their playlist is going to look like. And I want to make sure that mine is unique.
Yeah.
If only for the purpose of, maybe you guys have overlooked these tunes before. I'm going to find
Right.
what these are.
Of course.
And I'm going to start new because I know they're going to be like, fuck all the new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am insanely proud of how mine turned out.
Good, yeah.
So I was like, 2 or 3 weeks before Christmas. Hey, how we doing? Oh, and then on Christmas Day, the one dude with the idea just dropped his.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I've been waiting. Mine's been ready. So boom.
Yeah.
And he completely freaked out. He's like, I can't believe we have 0 repeats between our 2.
That's awesome.
And later he was like, you chose like the 11th weirdest song on like 7 straight albums. And I love how it turned out.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love every tune on. There's a couple of all-time favorites that I could not.
Yeah.
Like I knew when we agreed to the project that ISIS from Blood on the Tracks was going to be one of my tunes.
For
it's
sure,
just
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
But perhaps my favorite inclusion on there is from an '89 album called "Oh Mercy,"
Okay.
which is the first, I believe, record he did with Daniel Lanois.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
Oh,
I don't think anyway.
Brian Eno.
Oh yeah.
Like they're sort of cut from the same cloth and have
okay.
collaborated together.
Gotcha.
Lanois produced "Time Out of Mind,"
Okay.
which, if you're not familiar,
No, I am.
is incredible, and it's got a real identifiable tone
Yeah.
because of the producer.
Okay.
in my
Okay,
estimation. But Lanois worked with him on this one.
Cool.
And so the tune that I chose from that record is called "Man in the Long Black Coat,"
Okay.
and it's so freaking cool.
Yeah.
And it's the return. She left with a word, not even a note. She went with the man in the long black coat, and it's real
Cool, yeah.
Like it starts off like there's like some crickets,
Yeah.
and it just feels like nighttime.
Yeah.
And guitar kind of builds up.
Yeah. Cool.
And he has a line. There's so many great things about the song. He has a line in there that says, "People, no one lives or dies. People just float." She went with the man in the long black. Anyway,
Cool, yeah.
As the thing's building up, like all of a sudden you just get punched with this real kind of gainy, back here, loud harmonica.
Okay, cool.
It's
Yeah.
dope.
That's awesome.
And it's only like a 4-minute
Yeah.
and change song.
Nice. Yeah.
But it tells a centuries long tale in this little.
That's
anyway,
awesome. That's awesome.
I don't know how. Harmonica.
Yep.
Ukulele, banjo.
Yep.
Guitar, bass. You can keep a beat on the drums.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So thank you for sharing your list with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to run through them in
Of course.
release order, if
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
I've said this, approaching 200 episodes. I'm one person, so I say a lot of the same shit
Sure. Yeah.
from episode to episode. So for all 3 of my consistent listeners, sorry, can't help it. My dad had, Oak Ridge Boys and John Denver 8 tracks in his
Sure.
van, and my mom was oldies station.
Yeah.
And then, from there, her home, we kind of became a classic rock.
Mm-hmm.
Like if music was on, the Fox was probably on
Yeah.
101.
Yeah.
And I lived in that lane for way too long.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Skid Rowdy?
Yeah.
He introduced me once, like on stage, like
Oh,
here's
cool.
Foxland. Yeah. That was like one of the highlights of my career, I think. I was like, holy cow, Skid Rowdy.
I was
Knows who I am.
chefing at Lou's Grill and Bar in Waldo, and he was in for a remote one day, and I came out and I was like, dude, I logged hundreds
the
of
voice.
hours.
You can
yeah,
just
yeah.
tell,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? Yeah.
And took a picture with him. I don't have it anymore,
Yeah.
but I burned myself out on a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, the easiest go-to for me is Creedence.
Oh, yeah.
And I think maybe Chronicle is the name of their greatest. Like a lot of the songs on that record, like I can't hear them anymore because I just greats because I've heard them so many times.
Yeah.
And there's a lot from that pocket
Mm-hmm.
that I'm like, oh God, turn it off.
Yeah.
I at some point arrived at a place where I could not fucking stand REO Speedwagon.
Oh yeah. I get that.
And it was just because the amount of times that Keep on Rolling and Roll with the Chain, just the same, this small hint, just like there's other songs. There, like Golden Country.
Oh yeah.
Or I remember the first time I heard it from a friend. I was like, see, there's other shit. Yeah. Anyway, did you watch Ozark?
No.
Oh my God.
I don't know what that is.
It's a show on Netflix.
I don't have Netflix.
Okay. Yeah. Really good show.
Okay.
Jason Bateman.
Oh yeah, I love that guy.
He and his family live in Chicago. They do like CPA kind of shit, and his partner is like, they get caught up in like Mexican cartel shit, and they have to leave.
Wait, I have heard of this. I've heard of it. Yeah, I've at least heard of it.
They go to they move to Lake of the Ozarks.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And season 3, there's his wife is involved in all these business endeavors, and they're going to put on this big show at this amphitheater down there. And who do they get? REO Speed, like actually REO. I'm like, fucking cannot get away from these guys. So when I first see your list, I'm like, oh my God. But
it is from the parents.
I begrudgingly pushed play on High Infidelity from 1980, which is 9 of 16 for them. 10 tracks, 34 minutes.
Yeah.
American rock out of Champaign, Illinois, and found myself almost immediately delighted.
It's a great pop rock record.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow.
It's fun to sing along to, it's just, and it's, I feel like, and I think this might just because it was like a big thing when I was a kid, but like, I feel like it's all killer, no filler because I have a memory tied to every song at those parties and stuff, So.
Yeah. No, I didn't. In fact, heard it from a friend, and there's one other big hit on there. What's the other big hit?
Keep on Loving You.
Yep, that one's not. I mean,
covered all the time. At least I don't know what their other big hit was. There's Take It on the Run, Follow My Heart. Yeah.
Well, the non-hits were all of it. Really was a joy, and I knew I babysat. It was a random, like maybe a gal my mom worked with or something. I was a peculiar kid, but I babysat for this gal's kids one time, and I had a kind of a embarrassing habit of snooping.
Oh yeah,
like if the kids are asleep and go in the and I remember like looking under this couple's bed, and there was like some porn and a couple vibrators and a stack of REO Speedwagon albums, and I was like, I don't know how these things go together. It seems like the records could be out and visible, but here we are.
My dad once gave me a vinyl of like a collection of their live tracks that was all collected in this one album on vinyl. And one was from Kansas City. One was recorded in Kansas City. And when he was handing it to me, he was so excited to be like, I'm in this record. I was in the audience that night.
Nice. Very cool.
And so it was a big thing when I was a kid. REO Speedwagon was this album specifically for sure was just always played.
Well, I forget already the guitar player's name, but he flipping shreds.
Yes.
I mean, like without
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
And I think I read that he was maybe kind of the primary songwriting engine.
Oh, was he? Yeah,
I think.
Okay.
But it's weird to have all those memories with the radio, and at least initially, you're drawn to the vocalist.
Yeah.
And you think that's the person who makes this thing go. And
Right.
sometimes
not at all.
yeah, like Joe Elliott, I was so devastated when I learned he didn't play an instrument.
Yeah.
Like you're just up there singing these corny lyrics.
Yeah.
Anyway. Big leap forward 2001, Rilo Kiley.
Yeah.
Takeoffs and landings. This is first of 4.
Yeah.
13 tracks, 47 minutes. Indie rock out of LA. Another podcast first. I didn't mention 0 REO Speedwagon records prior to today. Mm-hmm. 0 Rilo Kiley.
All right.
Which is fascinating to me because I'm a huge Jenny Lewis fan.
Me too.
I've got Voyager on display over there.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And, I have joked a couple times, like, she doesn't know it yet, but we're going to get married.
She's married to her dog now.
I know. I saw that, and I was like, I want to see the paperwork. I don't believe this is true.
Right, yeah.
How'd you get turned on to Rilo Kiley?
I think it was through a friend, and I don't remember what friend. Yeah, I mean, I think I got this album from, I want to say Borders at the time, and it was a CD, and I just sat down, like I would just listen to albums. I would just kids. There was a time where you'd sit down and just put on an album with nothing going on around you or a phone in your hand and just listen to it. But that's what I would do. I just started it and I was hooked right away. Like that, the beginning melody at least, or the guitar just kind of hooks you. And then it just took me on what I would call a journey. Like it has a lot of dynamic things going on with it. It brings back motifs, like little like things here and there. I mean, it's so cool.
It is.
And it had on the CD that I had, it had a hidden track.
Nice.
So at the very last song, there would be a huge space, like 14 minutes of nothing, and then it would have like a 2 or 3 minute track. That was really cool. I don't remember what that was called, but yeah.
There's a number of motifs in this, and I can't remember if it's the chorus, the tune with chorus in the title, or if it's the plain one. But so here's the shape of the song, and then all of a sudden, just at the very tail end, you get like this killer little horn lick.
Yep.
And then it's like gone in a flash.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
Yeah.
That was a pocket. You should have stayed in that pocket. But also it was cool.
But it'll come back.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
It comes back in like a keyboard, I think, later. Yeah.
When I was trying to get this thing off the ground, I was reaching out to friends and family, and a girl that I went to kindergarten with that I'm still friends with, she was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I was like, come on, man. She's like, not a chance. And then I was actually just 20 paces that way. Mm-hmm. This was a door, this table, and I cut it and was making this table.
Yeah.
And she texts me and she goes, Jenny Lewis, Acid Tongue. And I was like, wait, what? So I put that on and I was like, holy
that's a great album.
Like from that moment to like 3-4 weeks later, my kids were like, what is with the nonstop Jenny Lewis?
Yeah.
And then I start the thing and I have a dude on for episode 12. Mm-hmm. And I think that exact story came up, and he goes, "Oh, I love her, like Rilo Kiley." And I was like, "What?"
Yes.
And then I looked it up and was immediately drawn to Silver Linings.
Yes, that's a great song, great album too. Yeah,
is all of the Rilo Kiley that I've really listened to before right now.
Yeah.
But I love that tune. I love that video. Yeah. Love her. And now she just all of a sudden fired up the Rilo Kiley engine and toured again.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because she was a kid actor. And the guitarist, one of the guitarists in the band at least, was a kid actor as well, on Boy Meets World. Uh-huh. And that was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. And so like when I found out who was in Rilo Kiley, I was like, holy,
Yeah.
that's nuts. And yeah, now they're like back doing it again.
Yes.
And I'm hopefully going. I haven't got my ticket yet, but yeah.
Wait a minute. You just reminded me of a note that was so important that I didn't write it down. But I think who you're talking about is Danny Cooksey.
No, Blake. I can't remember his last name. Blake something.
Somewhere very recently, I thought it was maybe in preparation for this, I was looking at somebody's album, and do you know who Danny Cooksey is?
No.
Different Strokes.
Yeah, I know the show. Who did he play on that one?
So, Different Strokes was Willis and Arnold,
right?
Adopted by Mr. Drummond.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they have Mrs. Garrett, the housekeeper from Facts of Life.
I do remember that.
And then he remarries, and she brings a child to the mix, and the child is Danny Cooksey.
I don't remember.
Who is Sam.
Okay.
And he has like...
I kind of remember... Okay.
He has the, like... It's not...
Yeah, like the mushroom kind of
yes,
yeah, I kind of remember that.
So, I thought it was...
Not Riley... Well, I don't know if he's in Riley Kiley, but the one I'm talking about is Blake something. I can't remember his last name.
I gotta look it up. Where are we? Takeoff and Land.
Yeah, he was in Boy Meets World. He played one of the lackeys.
It is this.
Like
it is this. He's a backing vocalist on Science versus Romance and Always.
Okay, interesting.
Sam from Flippin' Different Strokes.
Yeah, well, yeah, they all kind of know each other, I guess. You know, yeah,
nuts.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed that I haven't, between episode 12 and 199 become a Rilo Kiley expert, but this maybe was the push that I needed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super fun. Short leap forward to 2005 with I'm Wide Awake It's Morning by Bright Eyes, 5th of 10 tracks, 45 minutes, indie/folk rock out of Omaha.
Yep.
High Infidelity and Takeoffs and Landings were podcasts first. This one has made an appearance on the show back in episode 27 with my guy Dan Gedman. This Bright Eyes record makes your list. Why?
There was a time where in my like formative years, a year in 2005 to like 2007, I would say, where this was just my, not identity, but like it was just always on my person. Like in my Walkman, I just related to it so much. The tone of it, the style, the words he was singing, the fact that he didn't have the greatest voice, like kind of relatable. Like I didn't feel like I had the greatest voice, like what he was saying was so profound and I could relate to. The instrumentation at the time I was kind of getting more into because I had listened to like rock kind of before that. And this was more like on the quieter side and more like songwriter side, This album taught me a lot about songwriting, I would say.
Really?
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
Cool.
Yeah. Especially like what you can do, like what you think you can't do and what you can do. Like the very first track, he opens with a story.
Yeah.
It's not even music. It's it turns into music.
There you go.
It starts with a story. And that blew my mind. Yeah. Like you can do that. Yeah. Like, that's allowed. Yeah. And so, yeah, like it just took me, like I said, and that's a theme with all my albums that I love is they take me on journeys. I love to go on a journey.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I love an experience.
I was rewatching last night. I'm a big stand-up comedy fan. Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
Is live in Austin.
In Austin, yeah.
You know this set?
I do, yeah. I love stand-up comedy too.
And he starts talking about, it's not funny, but it's funny. His sister and her heroin problem.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, if you are a heroin addict, eventually you run out of money and all of a sudden you're going on quests.
Yeah.
I gotta get some copper.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Let's see here. Another short 4-year leap forward to Mean Everything to Nothing.
Yeah.
Manchester Orchestra.
Yeah.
2009. Second of 6. 11 tracks, 53 minutes. Indie rock out of Atlanta. Another podcast first. I know that the whole album isn't quote unquote heavy. But there's some heavy segments.
Yeah.
I don't usually lean heavy, but I enjoyed this listen quite a bit.
Oh, cool. Good.
Tell me first what the title of this record says to you, and why the album itself is special.
So
I read this. This title just spoke to me,
this
and
title, it's in the album itself. You know, it's a lyric in the album and everything. To me, it meant a lot of things at different times. You know, it's in the actual song. It's you mean everything to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so a lot of times, whatever relationship I was, going through with, especially with like undiagnosed borderline personality disorder, there's a lot of black and white thinking. So like you could be really mad at someone and be like, well, you just, you mean nothing to me. But that really means, they mean everything to you. And so you mean everything to nothing for me at one point in time meant that, this whole like I'm saying like I'm pushing you away, but I'm pulling you back in because you mean so much to me. Yeah. But then like throughout the years, I would re-listen to the album and it would kind of mean something different, or I would try to interpret what he was, saying. That's what I love about art,
Yeah. Well, having the tiniest snapshot of a summary of what you've been through, but did you die?
Yeah.
And the outlook and the positive and all of the things mean everything to nothing. Live every moment to its fullest.
Yeah.
But why not mean everything, even if the thing you're
Nothing
meaning
is,
to is nothing in the
Yeah.
end?
Yeah.
At least you were on 10 on your meaning
I would
scale.
say that kind of has come up in my life too, where it has meant that to where I do question like, what does all this mean? Does it all mean nothing? Like, should I still do it? And usually the answer is yeah. Like, even if even if nothing comes of it, it still means everything to that nothing. It's kind of how it kind of came up later in life for me personally.
Nice.
Yeah. But this album is also a journey, an experience. It has peaks, valleys,
Yeah.
The song Pride is like my pump up song because it starts pretty quiet and then it builds and builds and builds. And by the end, it's just this full fledged, like with breakdowns rock song. Like, yeah, it's a great one to work out to. Like if you ever work out.
Nice.
Because it kind of builds you up.
You ever listen to Tool?
A little bit, not often. Yeah.
Several Tool records have made people's lists, and I, knew very little. I knew of them. I knew they had a huge fan base and following, but I'd hardly ever really sat down and listened to a record until they started making people's lists. And they have a kind of similar with Metallica. They have this fascinating, like 60, 75, 100-second first portion of a song that's really masterful and crafted, and it's got like layers to it, and you're like hooked.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it takes you either straight to the sky or peaks and valleys, and kind of not every song, of course, but then we'll wrap with another sort of like intro and outro-y kinds of feel. It's very appealing.
Yeah, for
say,
sure.
Like, you might not like the duration of this ride, but we're gonna get you interested enough to come along.
I love when you can see the artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can see the artist as being an artist, I guess.
Yeah.
Where you're like, wow, like it's not just like, I don't know, like every day, like, I played a song What do you think? You know,
Yeah.
it's
Clap.
there's
It's
craft
clap
there.
for me.
You know,
It's
yeah.
over now.
There's craft there. There's craft work there. There's artistry. There's, you know, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So we bring it all home with The King is Dead.
Yeah.
The Decemberists, 2011.
Yep.
6 of 9, 10 tracks, 40 minutes. Keeping the indie rock vibe strong and coming in out of Portland, Oregon. One previous appearance for this one, which was Derek Bennett's from episode 160. Derek's a huge Decemberists fan, and
like insanely huge.
okay,
Yeah.
like we actually talked for 2 seconds about like, you know, coming back to do a Decemberist discography episode.
Oh, I could easily do
Okay.
that.
So
I
my question
can
for
play
you-
a lot of their songs.
Do you really?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you got the whole catalog hardwired in there.
For sure. Oh yeah.
How do you wind up a fan of theirs?
That's a good question. Oh, I do remember the first time I ever heard them. I was in, I believe it was in FYE, the same like used CD store.
Oh yeah,
that I bought my first record in.
Pavement.
Yeah. Later on, like I think I was in high school. Maybe they had these screens that they would play like little snippets of music videos on to get you to buy the new record coming out. And I can't remember. I think it was The Crane Wife. And I like heard it like a little 3 seconds or something of it, and was like, "What is this? I love this," you know. And bought the album. Or no, I bought Picaresque first. And then took it home and was just hooked, obsessed. I lived in Portland, Oregon for a short amount of time.
Really?
Very short.
Okay.
Like months.
How'd you wind up there?
Life, honestly.
Okay.
I was with a partner who had a job out there, but we came back and everything. Yeah, and this band, since I was, I think, like 14 or 15, has been like my favorite band.
Really?
Yeah, I've been
14 or
obsessed with this
15.
band for so long. I have so many autographs, like so many things. I have everything they've done on either vinyl or CD or whatever. I have stuff that they've done on like Record Store Day that you can't get anywhere else. Like I'm pretty big into the Decemberists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the lead singer also wrote a series of books that I'm really crazy
Really?
about. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know the movie Coraline, that stop motion movie?
Yeah.
So that company is going to do those books.
Okay.
Their next movie is called Wildwood, which is that book series.
What genre would you say these books are in?
It's like YA, middle reader, I would say, like fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Great list, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was not only fun to listen to all of these, but
Yeah,
funny
Yeah.
to look back and think of my eye roll at Speedwagon and then be like, that's
You
the
know,
first one I
yeah.
listened to, and I enjoyed all of them equally.
Good. Yeah.
I like to hit you with a series of goofy questions.
Cool. I love
and
it.
then we'll wrap and get you out of here.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So the first one is you're given the opportunity to have a coffee with anyone of your choosing, dead or alive.
Okay.
Who's it going to be and why?
Pretty sure she's still alive. I don't know. Marsha Linehan, who invented DBT.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. She is a fascinating person.
What does it stand for again?
Dialectical behavior therapy.
That's okay.
Yeah, she invented it. She created it. Took her a long time to do, and she had clients. I think she had borderline personality disorder herself.
No kidding.
And it's from, I've been through it now. I'm going through it still. It's amazing. And I have so many questions I would ask her, like, why this or why,
Yeah.
specifically. Yeah. She's definitely top of the list.
Cool. If we can pretend or imagine that we all have a personal and a professional bucket list.
Okay.
You're given all of the necessary resources to go knock out your number one on each of those lists. What are your number ones?
So professional. So I've had a lot of time to think of this. Like I've, been in enough hospital rooms to really like give this a lot of thought. Professional, my number one would be the Ryman. I want to play the Ryman.
Oh, yeah.
I want to play the Ryman before I die. Like that's just that I want to.
Hell yeah.
Personal is, kind of just be content with, radically accept, I guess, and be content with like my health stuff and kind of like settle down,
Yeah.
Yeah. I found out that relationships mean a lot more to me these days. And so like relationships and being content, like with myself and with other people, is just kind of number one on the personal level.
Yeah. God, I'm drawing a blank right now, but I was just watching this clip. It's got to be from a really popular movie. But I think there's an effort to go retrieve somebody from a mental hospital.
Oh, yeah.
And as they're like passing through the facility to get to the person, like every little corridor or annex or room, there's just moaning and pain and discomfort. And it's just like,
For sure.
oh my God. Just,
Yeah. Cancer centers are pretty depressing.
yeah, I bet.
I mean, the people there try to really like, help, not be so down.
Yeah.
They really help.
Yeah. You're gifted the ability to visit your past self.
Okay.
At any age of your choosing.
Yep.
We're not interested in changing who you are today. This is not a thing that's cloaked in regret.
Yeah.
What age are you choosing, and what are you saying?
I'm gonna go with around 10.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm just gonna say, don't worry so much.
I love it.
When you start to worry, just remember, I told you, you do not have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I feel like if I had insurance when I was a kid, because I was so in my mind of like what could happen or what, all that stuff. If I had some like assurance, I would probably be a lot better off when I was a kid.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're aware that at some point in time there was a television show called Fear Factor?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is like early days of reality TV, and you win the show or whatever, the contest, by tolerating gross stuff.
Yeah.
This is not that. This is real life. You've got to get from point A to point B, but in the middle is your biggest source of fear or anxiety or creeps or whatever. What is it?
Either alligator or crocodile.
Really?
Terrified.
Where does this come from?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't even like to watch. Like, I can watch movies with them in it, but like I don't even really like to. They're so unrelenting, and like they just give me the creeps. Yeah.
Freaking ginormous, insanely strong dinosaurs.
Yes. Yeah. And they're fast.
Yeah.
Surprisingly fast.
Yeah. There's an Instagram account called Nature is Metal. And it's got a lot of real sad shit on it. Like mostly just footage of prey and predator stuff. And a lot of it is like
stuff,
can't look away.
Yeah.
And I swear to you that 1,000% of the time, if
More
one
often than
one of those is involved and they're unsuccessful, I'm like, yeah, fuck you.
You
cheating. Everything about you're cheating.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were that fast. I didn't know you were that strong.
Yeah.
And you get to take under and roll. God,
they're
bless.
terrifying.
Sometimes I see clips where people are like paying money to guides to take them on boats through like the Everglades. I'm like, are you out of your goddamn mind?
No, never. I will never ever do that. No.
Last but not least, please complete this for me. The world would immediately become a better place in which to live, if only.
I mean, I feel like if only we had more true empathy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Simple enough. Yeah.
Great answers.
Yeah.
Foxlin Band, Foxlin, on Instagram, foxlinband.wixsite.com. Your stuff's on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, YouTube, Bandcamp. Do you want to hit me with the gigs again?
Yeah, so we got February 13th, Friday the 13th, at 3807 Troost. It's a house show. Skate Bar on the 25th of February. And then the Rhino on March 21st. And then March 26th at the Replay in Lawrence.
The Replay.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Any other plugs?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, Foxton's all I got going on right now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. New music soon-ish.
Nice.
Hopefully in the summer.
Yeah. Is there anything that you had hoped that we would cover that we did not?
No, I feel satisfied.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well,
this is
man,
cool.
Again, like I said, when I first start this thing, 20 years in the restaurant industry. So I whether they're friends or just acquaintances, I had a healthy list of family and friends to start it off with, but virtually almost everybody since has been a perfect stranger.
Yeah.
And that starts with DMing.
Yeah,
a perfect
absolutely.
stranger.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm not a creep.
Yeah.
I just do this thing, So, that sometimes that doesn't even go anywhere.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Sometimes it does, and then for whatever reason it fizzles. But when the commitment to giving the list and choosing the date and showing up all happen, like I said, it's what keeps the thing going.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm really grateful for the time and energy. It was wonderful to meet you.
Yeah, same. This is awesome.
Thank you. If you have anybody that you think would enjoy sitting in the chair with me for
Definitely.
a
I have
short
a couple
while,
people in mind for
right
sure.
on.
Yeah.
Well, I will shoot all of the things to you
Cool.
when it's up, and really nice to meet you. And
Yeah, you too.
hope to talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
All right.
Same.
Cheers.